welcome. Hi. Alrighty, so the performance you're gonna watch today is named Fritzl and Quitzel's Magnificent Mess. And I think you'll find that it's truly special, mostly because it was created by your children. So it's really children-led, and that's what makes it so great and unique. I'm gonna do this in Spanish now, so bear with me. Bienvenidos a Hinking, yo soy la directora, me llamo señora Putz, mucho gusto, yo creo que ya casi los ha conocido a todos. Esta obra de teatro que van a ver hoy se llama Fritzl and Quitzel's Magnificent Mess. El título yo creo que lo hicieron los niños y casi todas las partes que van a observar hoy están creadas por los niños. So me imagino que va a ser una experiencia muy única y especial para ustedes. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to pass the microphone on to Mrs. Durney because she's going to kind of give us a little more detail about what you guys are going to observe and experience today. Then I'm going to try and do it in Spanish, so bear with me.
Thank you very much. Today, I wanted to tell you that our performance is based on the creative drama curriculum, and I asked the students, would you like to expand this scene that we've been doing in class that you love, and we could make it into a play? And they said yes right away, fearlessly. And we moved forward with a student-driven play based on improvisation and the creative drama curriculum. We have taken that improvisation and we have put it on our very own script, so you will see students reading from that. They also decided we should transform our bodies into a river instead of creating a complicated set. And they are so creative. I feel so lucky to work with your students. Thank you.
Okay. So, ella mi traducción es lo que dijo y aquí se lo voy a leer. Cuando le pedí a nuestros estudiantes de segundo grado si pensaban que deberíamos transformar el escenario de nuestra clase a una obra de teatro, todos dijeron sí, sin una gota de miedo. Crearon esta obra ellos mismos basados en una improvisación y plan de estudios creativos de drama. Los estudiantes usaron sus habilidades para resolver problemas, para crear un escenario simple y dijeron vamos a transformar nuestros cuerpos en partes de escenario como una tina, el río y una cerca. Okay. Me siento orgullosa de tener a los estudiantes de segundo grado tan creativos como codirectores. Ahora los vamos a invitar que entren. All right, here they come. Enjoy the play.
go to their places in the back. And the professor came up to the stage. And Fritzl and Quitzel went to their spots over there. And the villagers got their props and went to the side. Once upon a time, there was a professor of Character Counts College. He was a master of the 6 pillars of character: respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. People came from far and wide to study with him. He had 2 students named Fritzl and Quitzel. One of them was mischievous, the other was a good-hearted soul. They had 2 rules. They could never touch the secret key or try to find it, and they should never open the magic closet. We'll see what happens as the story goes along. The professor sat reading his book on trust when suddenly villagers came and needed help.
What happened? The sheep is missing. The sheep is losing. The shepherd lost her glasses. I'll help you, but I need help packing. Where's my suitcase? You're so smart. Where are my bubbles? Sheep love bubbles. Fritzl, Quitzel.
The professor called for his assistants because he wanted to say hello to them, but they ignored him. He knew he forgot something else important, and it turned out it was his
pickle jar. I need help, Fritzl, Quitzel.
But Fritzl and Quitzel ignored him because they were spying. They wanted to see where the professor kept the secret key. And they knew he didn't really know how to clean. All he did was read books and write. And so they knew he'd try to use the secret closet and get something else to clean for him.
I know, I'll use the secret key. One, two, three. Clean this whole floor, broom. Okay, broom, you can stop now. The top of the roof to the setting sun. Lead us now, broom, for the work is done. Fritzl, Quitzel, blows. I'm going to help the villagers. Okay. Don't touch the streaky key. And don't go to the magic closet. We are trustworthy. I know you will make a big mistake. You always make a mistake. I will be back at sunset. See you at sunset. Don't make any mistakes. No. We promise. The professor's not here. But we said we were gonna be trustworthy. Just help me open the magic closet. No. You go to the river and get water.
And so Fritzl and Quitzel did not want to do any work. And instead of going all the way to the river to gather the water, which would take them such a long time, they thought, we will command the broom to do it. It worked for the professor. But Fritzl did not stay to see the stop rhyme. He only knew how to get the broom moving. He didn't know that. He also said, go get water, but didn't tell the broom to put it in the tub. So the broom went to the river and came back and dumped it on the floor. And Fritzl and Quitzel kept saying, no, no.
No, not on the floor, in the tub.
But the broom wouldn't stop, and they started getting more and more nervous, and the water started to get higher and higher. And finally, they looked at each other and decided they knew what to do.
Karate time.
And they chopped up the broom and they thought, this is it. We've knocked it to pieces. Hooray! And they gave each other a high five and were so happy. But slowly, the broom's fingers began to twitch and their bodies began to roll, and slowly they started to sit up. And Fritzl and Quitzel started shaking their heads and saying, oh no.
Oh no.
And the broom slowly stood up. They all sat up And they all started standing up and they went over to this river. And they started getting all the water. And Fritzl and Quitzel didn't know what to do. They started calling out for the professor and saying, please, sun, set.
Please, sunset.
And everyone froze. And then we sing a song. Everyone back to your spots. My farm dancers. The professor had gone to the village to help the farmers. The professor was in the village, and the poor shepherd was still looking for her glasses, and sheep were wandering. And the shepherd kept moving around because she was very nearsighted and could not see a thing. She called out for her sheep. And the sheep started playing tricks on her because they knew she couldn't see. And as soon as they said "ba," they would move away from her. And all the sheep came forward onto the stage. And the professor saw this and thought, I need to help this shepherd. So the professor came over and took Bubbles because he thought all sheep love Bubbles. And so the professor tried this out. The villagers were so happy that the sheep were back to the shepherd. They rushed toward the professor and began to sing, and they put their arms around him, and they came right up. They couldn't believe it. And the shepherd was just, this professor was just looking around because he didn't know why the sheep didn't crowd around him and eat all the bubbles. But the villagers were happy, and they sang, "For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, that nobody can deny." Only the sheep did not think he was a jolly good fellow. The shepherd was so happy, and the professor even saw the glasses hidden behind her, and he went right over and picked them up and gave them to the shepherd, and she was so glad, and it turned out the professor was the hero of the day.
Thank you, Professor. You saved the sheep and the barn. Thank you so much.
And the shepherd came over and mentioned that he did have to go for an important reason.
I must go. It's sunset.
Thank you.
Everyone left the stage, but back at the professors, back at Character Counts College, the water was starting to rise. When we left Fritzl and Quitzel, it was only at their knees. But since the brooms did not stop, the water had grown higher and higher.
Help! Professor, help! Sunset! Help! Help!
And the professor came in and did not know what was happening. And he said, "Oh no." And he knew what he had to do. So he raised one arm in the air and said,
From the top of the roof to the setting sun, leave us not room, for your work is done.
and the water disappeared, and the brooms disappeared, and it was just Fritzl, Quitzel, and Gloat. And the original broom was leaning against the wall as if nothing had happened.
Fritzl and Quitzel, what a magnificent mess.
I knew you would make a big messy mistake.
What happened?
Well, you see, we opened the magic closet and took out the broom, and the broom wouldn't stop, and I chopped the broom down, and the pieces that got chopped came to life and didn't put the water in the tub.
We're sorry.
You broke your promise.
We know.
You must go home for 1 year and then you can come back and try again.
Okay.
Ha ha. You made a messy mistake.
No. No. We make many mistakes. And before I was a master and I made many mistakes.
Learn from our mistakes, that making no mistakes is the greatest mistake. Fritzl and Quitzel, you get everything.
That was really awesome. Very nice. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. I want to thank you all for coming out today. And I want to give a big round of applause to Mrs. Durning, who worked so hard to get this program together. And boys and girls, I want to just say how wonderful that was. I want to thank Mrs. Rothschild Brown class and Mrs. Hagist class. You guys did a great job. Give yourselves a big round of applause. And this concludes our winter performance. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend.